I mean, especially so once you've been in it for over 30 years, you watch back on some things and you're like, well, I have no recollection of that ever happening, which is a really strange feeling.
I do have to just ask about Scream. I hated seeing Dewey dying, but looking forward at the film franchise continuing, would you ever return, even if it's for flashbacks at all?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I love playing the character and I love being part of that world. And so I wouldn't take anything off the table, that's for sure.
And just with Halloween coming up, do you have any fun family traditions that you ever do? Or are you kind of like a themed costume family at all?
I'm like at least a 3 or 4 costume.
Really?
So through that time of the season, yeah, I'll have a few just in my back pocket. I usually can dress people too if they need costumes. I think I have a big costume selection, but I love costumes. I love dressing up and, playing these different, being these different characters for Halloween as well.
I really loved this film.
Thank you.
Yeah, I cried during it. It was really, really good. And I loved your character. What drew you to it and playing this role?
Oh, Gabrielle Zevin is such an incredible writer. She wrote the screenplay and I read it and I was like, wow, it's such a wonderful cast. And Hans Canosa, director, had such a clear vision for it. I spoke with them and I was really honored to do it. He was really a great character, a good guy, a small town cop who just wanted to keep his town safe. And it's like it says in the film that he's the old kind of cop that, that just really loves his community. And I don't know, there's something about his heart and his sort of his not simple nature, but his just, natural, calm that I really appreciated.
I loved your line, every bad thing in life is a result of bad timing. Every good thing is a result of in good timing. Does that line resonate with you in your own life?
It does. It does. Timing's a real, magical thing. And I think a lot of it goes into flow. And if you can get into the flow of life and start making the right choices and just sort of when you get obstacles, kind of judo through them so you don't let them take you down and you really sort of understand your self-worth and where you want to go, what you want to do with your life and where you want to spend your time. It's really important once you start, understanding the self-love of it all and not beating yourself up, at least for me.
You've done so many genres in your career. At this point, what makes you say, yes, I absolutely want to be a part of a certain project?
It always starts with the script, obviously. And then the fellow actors. I was like, I'm such a fan of all these incredible people. So that sort of, and the director, of course, and the producers. So, when you get all those things together, you just know it's going to be a special project that you're going to have fun doing. And then it was set in they filmed it in Cape Cod. It's set on Ellis Island, a fictional island. But Cape Cod's such a beautiful setting, and it was an interesting world to be a part of. I was studying accents of the locals around town and sort of pick up nice subtle version. But the turnaround from me reading the script to having to do the part was really quick. So I kind of had to jump in there and do a bunch of scenes right off the bat.
I love that. Well, I have to, speaking of the cast, have to mention, of course, the Scream connection with Scott Foley. I loved. What would you like to reunite with him?
I know, it's great. Scott's such an incredible actor. I mean, watching him play this character, he plays a real full of himself writer who was just amazing. I mean, he had me laughing. I really enjoyed working with everyone. Kunal, I really got such a kick out of seeing him portray this character. And, I would just sit back in awe of these guys and women that I worked with. It was really a special project to be a part of.
Well, I love the progression between your character with Christina Hendricks. What did you take away from having her as a scene partner on the film?
Oh gosh, she's so talented. I was a huge fan. So our characters went to school together, but she kind of didn't remember my character. I kind of brought a lot of that to it, as if like, you know, I was a fan of her, so there's a nervousness about that. There's like, oh, wow, I know your work. And it's kind of almost like we had gone to the same school together, and, you know, I was just a fan of hers, you know. So I could bring that into the scenes. So it made me kind of nervous, and, you know, but you use all of that stuff, and, you know, it's really easy to, you know, fall in love with such a wonderful actress on screen.
And are you the kind of actor where you kind of put, you know, you do a job and you move on? Or if you turn on the TV right now and Scream was playing, like, would you like watching your own work?
I don't watch myself too much anymore. No. I mean, especially, so once you've been in it for over 30 years, you watch back on some things and you're like, well, I have no recollection of that ever happening, which is a really strange feeling. But, yeah, sometimes you look back and it's like, well, was that even me? It seems like such a different person. But yeah, I don't come off it that often. Although I'm going to San Francisco to celebrate the 25th anniversary of a film called Dream with the Fishes soon. So that'll be really interesting to see the whole cast and relive that experience, because I filmed that right after I shot Scream. I drove directly to that set. So
that's so exciting.
Interesting to look at. Yeah.